doing this review a bit differently on the channel. My room's kind of a mess, I'm just moving some stuff around, so I thought because there's Minecraft skins of the Superman characters, we'll just put some Minecraft gameplay on like I did for the Minecraft movie review. So, anyways, we're gonna cut into Superman. So, this movie, I was a little bit anxious from the day James Gunn did the whole announcement thing of what his slate was going to be for Gods and Monsters. I was nervous, really nervous, because I was anxious with the downfall of the DCU. I wasn't a big fan of the DCU personally, and just a bit curious of if it would actually work. And part of me was like, he did the Guardians movies, he did the Scooby Doo movies, it's gonna be good. He did the Suicide Squad, that was great. He did Peacemaker, that was alright. So I had my hopes up a little bit because he did all these great other projects. Let's see how he does with Superman. And I am not disappointed. I'm going to do this review a little bit different. I want to do both the spoiler and spoiler free review mashed up into one, just because I feel like that might work better. Because I always do like a video where it's, oh, this is spoiler free, and then later on I'm going to do a spoiler review because I need to do one for the Monkey, the Thunderbolts, because I've still promised I'll do a spoiler review for them and I haven't, so I'm going to have to do them at some point. I'm going to have to watch Thunderbolts digitally again for Thunderbolts and do it that way. But anyways, we're going to do it a spoiler free and a spoiler. So we're going to do the spoiler free first because, like I said, this movie was really amazing. It made me become a little bit more of a fan of Superman. That is, I mean that. Like, don't get me wrong, Man of Steel was okay. I didn't mind Man of Steel, but this movie was just perfect. It showed what I wanted for a Superman movie and a whole lot more. And it did things. It made choices with certain aspects of the story that made it move forward in a way that was shocking, to say the least, which I'll talk about in the spoiler bit. And I just loved it, man. I really enjoyed it for what it was. Like, if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you do so. David plays a really good Superman. Obviously, Hawk Girl, Green Lantern, they're great in the movie. Mr. Terrific is fantastic. I've only seen Mr. Terrific in like animated stuff. So seeing him live in a cinema screen doing all these cool things with a character I'm not too familiar with is great. It made me enjoy seeing Mr. Terrific in this movie. He was definitely one of the best of the Justice Gang, without a doubt. There was a lot of creative choices with this one that got me a bit curious and concerned. Like, I can't really say because it's in the spoiler bit, but I'm going to say it anyways. It's the kryptonite, the way they do kryptonite in this movie. I'm not going to tell you what it is until the spoiler, but the way they do kryptonite in this movie is really creative. And we got a lot of insane cameos. And the score was great. The only thing that needs a touch bit of work on is probably the Hawk Girl scream. But on top of that, we have some funny scenes with Jimmy Olsen. We see a lot of characters and a lot of cameos in this movie which are great, which made me enjoy the experience a lot more. And I do recommend going to watch this movie in cinemas. So I'm going to stop talking about spoiler-free stuff now. I'm going to be talking about the spoiler section now. So if you do not want to be spoiled, I recommend you just turn off this video and I thank you for watching, and I will see you later, and bye-bye. I'm trying to find some lava somewhere, and I'm not having much luck, so I'm going to go back to my base before it gets dark. Okay, so if you're still here, that means you're here for the spoilers. It was a good choice to make Superman already 3 years into his career. Like, that worked in the Batman, and James Gunn has realised that with the way that we don't need these origins again. Perfect start. We already have Superman losing his first ever fight in his 3 years of being Superman. Great. That's good. We don't have another cliche Krypton opening or something that is comic book movie origins that always happen. And James Gunn realised that because I've seen an interview where he's like, we don't need Krypton exploding. We don't need to see Batman's parents. He already knows the source material. He knows what we need as audiences and what we want to see. The way the Fortress of Solitude just comes out of the ground in this movie is really cool. And I was really shocked to see that it was Bradley Cooper as Jor-El. That was a really surprising cameo. I was not expecting that. I knew some of the Guardians members were playing the robots, but you've got Bradley Cooper as Jor-El. I don't know who the other woman is, the actress who's playing his mum. Maybe someone just reach out and let me know who that is, because like I said, it was a great cameo. Lex Luthor, Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor was great. He is definitely the biggest Superman hater, and he tries to do certain things. He's got this whole like control room where it controls Ultraman. Like, he's already got someone matching Superman, and he hates him so much that he wants him gone out the picture because he is an alien. But like, most of the way he talks about Superman is almost like the same way Batman does, like how he doesn't trust him in the Justice League. But then you got other moments with him which makes him like pure evil, which is good. It's a perfect like on and off situation. You don't see him like cover up much in public. Like, you don't see him trying to be like this really good influence person in public other than that one interview in the news. And the Daily Planet is great. The people in the Daily Planet, like Cat Grant is such an attractive actress. Whoever that actress is, oh my god. Are you joking? I've been looking for lava this whole time, and there's a little bit of lava here. Are you joking? I'm trying to build a cobblestone generator, and I've been trying to look for like mixes of like water, which I've already got a well for, but I've been searching around like the overworld for a little bit of water, and it's been here this whole time. Right, back to the review. Jimmy Olsen, obviously he's like a comedic thing. He's like a chick magnet in this. Everyone's obsessed. The ladies are obsessed with him in this movie. It's kind of funny to see. Even his ex, which is Lex Luthor's current girlfriend, that was so funny to see. And the reluctance of his face when they're now together forever, that was funny. Perry White was so funny in the ending when Lois and Superman like sneak off somewhere for an interview, and then he's like talking to Jimmy and he's like, how long have they been hooking up for? That was funny. Yeah, the Daily Planet and all the members in it, they were great. Just fast tracking a little bit, the Superman interview with Lois Lane, that was intense. That was a really good scene between them two. And the way Lois kind of like gives up towards the end of the interview because she knows like, oh, I knew it was a bad idea, but Clark's like, what do you mean? I'm answering all your questions. But he's like, I knew this wouldn't work out and everything. That was like, Jesus. Then we cut to like that, what is it? don't want to talk about the whole story, so I might just move into some bits. It might be a bit out of order. I do apologise. The creature with the fire-breathing breath, that was a cool scene to see the introduction for the Justice Gang, which is such a weird name, but it's so cool at the same time. I like how Guy Gardner is so... I was a little bit skeptical. I was a little bit anxious when Nathan Fillion was going to play Green Lantern, personally, because he was already TDK in the Suicide Squad. Not sure if that's canon to this universe. Obviously, you got Rick Flag's dad, and it's very hinted that Rick Flag's dad had a son. His son's dead, and Peacemaker killed him. There's obviously that big hint, but he was already TDK in the Suicide Squad, so I was a bit anxious to see him again as like Green Lantern. But he is the best Guy Gardner Green Lantern live action. He's just the best Green Lantern I've seen on screen, and he's perfect for that role. You've got Hawkgirl, which she is great on screen. Don't get me wrong, I loved all her scenes that she was in. Obviously, her scream needs a bit of work, but she was amazing. Like the way she grabs that president and he's like, "Oh, you're not gonna hurt me. You're delicate like Superman." And she gives him that little smile and she's like, "I'm nothing like Superman." And she lets him go. And that transition while he's falling, and it cuts to I don't know, is it like a peppermint going into a glass of water? That was a good transition. Mr. Terrific is the best member of the Justice Gang on the screen. He has such amazing scenes in this movie, especially when he's with Lois and he's going to help Lois just to piss Guy Gardner off. Obviously, you've got Metamorpho, who in this movie is called Element. And he, like I said about the kryptonite, which I don't want to spoil, he can turn into kryptonite, which is what holds Superman in the cell for so long in that pocket dimension. Now, one thing I didn't like about this movie was the pocket dimension. I found it a bit okay, but when it comes on later, like it's the big threat that's tearing Metropolis, I was like, okay, I prefer it now. But in the beginning, I was really like, I don't like this pocket dimension. And then you got when Superman's trapped in it, it was growing on me. And then when it started destroying Metropolis and splitting it in half, I was like, okay, fair enough. This is what they want for the big finale. Okay, I'll let it off. But I didn't really like the pocket dimension much. That's just my personal opinion. You might have enjoyed the pocket dimension. I don't know. But it was just one of them things I was like, really? Lex Luthor has built this like pocket dimension? And yeah, it was just one of them things. It's a little nitpick. Seeing the Hall of Justice was great though. That was perfect. The Engineer is great on screen. Crypto was definitely a highlight of this movie. He was so funny, especially when he was biting all them circles that Mr. Terrific has. And I'm saying circles because it pissed him off in the movie, which was funny. And when it's a big element for Crypto, because obviously at the end in the final battle, he goes after the same things that help Lex Luthor see what to do to control Ultraman to fight Superman, which that twist with Ultraman being a brain dead version of Superman, it was kind of expected because I know who Ultraman is in like the aspect of things. He's like an alternative version of Superman with a U. I already knew something like that, but it was interesting to know that he was a clone that Lex Luthor picked up in a fight to clone him, and that's how they got into the Fortress of Solitude. It was genius. The Ma and Pa stuff, that was great. I was shocked to see that message. That was obviously, it was crashed. It like got glitched out in the crash, and the full message gave me like Injustice vibes. It gave me like Injustice vibes where like Superman should rule over the people. And it's crazy because I've just been at a mate's house and played Injustice 2 with them. And I'm talking about Injustice now because that message that Jor-El sent gave me Injustice vibes, and the way Guy Gardner reacts to all that is great. Like, he's angry at first, but when Lois is talking to him, he's like, I'm not going to be friends with someone who wants to rule over me. It was great. And obviously you've got that big war that happens with Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner there while Mr. Terrific and that is in Metropolis. Great split up to see what's going on both sides. And obviously I was joking around when I said that baby Joey would be Brainiac. I was like, oh yeah. I saw the baby and I was like, he's definitely Brainiac. Metamorpho's made Brainiac here, because I was losing my mind for so long thinking that Brainiac was going to be in this movie. And I was looking for every excuse while I was sat there to yeah, that's Brainiac over there. Because I thought he was going to be the main villain in this movie when we saw all that flashy stuff outside. But when you see it in the movie, it's like for like a split, like 10 minutes. And it was like, no, Brainiac's not in this movie. I was just sat there like, so where's Brainiac? Ah, it's baby Joey. Overall, this movie was amazing. It's definitely made me proud to be a DC fan. Like, again, for the live action movies, like, they've really went downhill when The Flash happened, and I didn't even bother with Blue Beetle or that Shazam movie, the sequel one that happened. I wasn't interested in DC movies anymore because of the aftermath of what all happened. But this movie, I enjoyed it. There wasn't a moment where I didn't enjoy it, and that was really great as a DC fan to say that. And it just makes me want to do more Superman stuff on the channel, which I'm currently working on a Knuckles and Superman short, so that'll be good. Also, the end scene with Millie Alcock as Supergirl. She is amazing in costume. She looks perfect for the role, and I can't wait for her own Supergirl movie. But other than that, let me know what you think of this movie, because yeah, it was such a great Superman movie, and it definitely is a good start for the DCU. There's a little bit of work needs doing here and there, but I can't wait to see Peacemaker season 2 and see where it goes from there. And also Frank Grillo as Rick Flag's dad was like, Rick Flag Senior was perfect casting. I didn't see much of Creature Commandos, but I know he's in that. But yeah, let me know what you thought of Superman. I'd be curious to know. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Made such great progress on this world. This world I created around the time the Minecraft movie was coming out. You might have seen like this cave and cliff. This cliffside looks so familiar because it is the world I was building on while doing the Minecraft movie review. So yeah, I've been playing as the Hawkgirl skin while doing this review, because she was definitely a highlight of this movie for sure. She just needs to work on her scream a bit more, but hopefully she'll get more screen time in other projects to work on that, and eventually see a Jon Stewart and Hawkgirl romance. It'd be very Justice League of them if it did. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review, and I will see you later, and bye bye.